As we wrap up National Human Trafficking Awareness Month, we wanted to add some perspective to our coverage that we've been giving you all week long. So the National Human Trafficking Hotline keeps track of lots of data, and it reports since its creation nearly 20 years ago, calls to its center have identified 197,000 human trafficking victims, 197,000 people. To put that in perspective, that is nearly 3 packed Bank of America stadiums. Now, as far as the Carolinas go, about 7,000 of these folks were in North Carolina. About 3,200 were in South Carolina. And while the National Human Trafficking Hotline reports more of its overall reported cases nationwide do deal with sex trafficking, labor trafficking is really important to keep an eye on. So we're talking about domestic labor, agricultural work, that type of nature of work. It's just as much of a concern in the Carolinas as both states have rural areas where this problem can flourish. Now, the agency also points out that there is a myth here, one that they're really trying to bust, that those being exploited always know that they're a victim.
At its core, human trafficking is the exploitation of someone's existing vulnerabilities, right? So traffickers are really good at identifying the victim's vulnerabilities and their needs so that they can exploit them. So that could look like a physical need, such as needing a place to stay, needing a warm meal. That could look like something less tangible as far as exploiting a need of love or a sense of family or belonging. So traffickers are really good at identifying those needs and moving forward into an exploitative type of relationship with those victims and survivors of trafficking.
So that's Letisa Jones. She is a supervisor with the National Human Trafficking Hotline. She mentioned exploiting a need for love. In many of these cases, she and other advocates say that a loved one or an intimate partner might actually be the trafficker. And so that might make it much more difficult for someone to recognize they're being exploited and also maybe leave if they do realize it eventually. Now, anyone can contact the National Human Trafficking Hotline with a tip or to report their own victimization. Here's the number, 888-373-7888. There's also a text-based reporting, and so you can text 233-733. So that's the number to text. There's also an online tip submission platform that they have. The organization also offers this online quiz, and so this is meant to deepen folks' understanding of this nuanced issue. If you scan this QR code, that will take you to our web article where we detail all of that we've learned this month about human trafficking nationwide and also in our area, and we can also link you to that quiz. We also had this hour-long special looking at cases of human trafficking here in the Carolinas with advocate insights on the common thread of social media in their child trafficking cases and also law enforcement perspective on why these investigations are so difficult. So we invite you to download our WCNC Plus app to your favorite streaming platform and tune in for that special show that's coming up at 6:30.